Thank you so much, Doug, for being here today. Lee and I are very, very excited to have you here and be one of our first guests that we're going to be interviewing and diving deep into some really interesting topics about blockchain and physical security and some incredible technology that you have been developing and that we are very, very excited to hear about and that we believe can have a lot of applications and uses in the blockchain physical security companies. So first, before we dive deep into all the amazing technology that you have developed, could you do a little bit of an introduction of yourself, please?
Sure. Thank you. My name is Doug. I've been an entrepreneur as someone who is curious and seeks to solve problems, new and interesting things from as long as I can remember. I love to build things, whether it's an advanced Lego car and motorize it, or rebuilding a bike or an airplane or whatever it is. I just enjoy the process of understanding the way things work and understanding how to improve them and experimenting with ways to improve them. And so that's part of what led me to Real Random, is my interest in improving things and improving processes.
Amazing. And so what is a random thing about you that people really don't know about yourself?
Well, most people perceive me to be very serious and intellectual, thinking in my head a lot. So they're very surprised. People are very surprised when they learn that my favorite performer is this guy. A friend of mine gave me this. You guys know who that is?
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G. So he's actually, if he was still alive, we're actually the same age, which is kind of funny. So I kind of knew who he was growing up, partially because, I didn't really, I grew up in an environment where there's a lot of mixed race. I played on a lot of sports teams. So I had a lot of different friend groups. Mm-hmm. And that's how I learned about Notorious B.I.G. So people are always surprised that I would like that kind of music. So that's kind of a random thing about me.
That's so cool. I love a lot of really random music. Like if you look at my playlist, there's probably all sorts of different types of genres, and from hip hop to reggaeton to like classical music. So mm-hmm. I love all that. Yeah. So Lee and I have the privilege of listen to the reasons or the story behind of how you started your company, but can you share a little bit more what made you start your company and what have been some of the main challenges of starting Real Random?
Sure. So when I was in college, I was in a bookstore, or a record store actually, and they had a small book section there. And I picked up a paperback copy of Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. And I was just sort of drawn to the book. I'd heard about it. I read the book, and I was changed because I learned about objectivism and how Ayn Rand viewed the world as someone who was Russian-born, raised in England, transplanted to New York. And I've since reread the book, and I can tell you that there are a lot of parallels between what she wrote about in 1957 and what's happening in the world today. And one of the lead characters in the book, his name is John Galt. And John Galt was a very low-key guy, very secretive, but his mission was to build a machine that could stop the world. And his machine was for transporting goods using rail lines, right? So it was a new kind of engine, moving away from the steam engine and moving into an electric engine. And so I always used the basic tenets of Atlas Shrugged and objectivism as how I operate, and those are one is to be your own hero. Like when you read Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, he talks about being his own hero in that he wants to be a better version of himself in 10 years from now than he is today. So challenge